Oh, I was going to have a talk with someone about that. There we go. Hi. Oh, quiet night. Try to do a game night, but my only buddy who comes over now, he can't play the whole night anymore. Sadly, boo. And so he leaves super early now. I cleaned up a little bit tonight, but I have nothing. I have nothing for the first time. I can do a stream just for a little while, I guess. um, hello, 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 everyone. Yeah, everything is well. Everything is well. It was a good week. It was a good week. Oh, okay, burner account. That's funny. Star Wars, Marvel Comics, always fun. Hello, Scott. How are you? So yeah, it's been a really good week at work. Really good. I like being productive, and I felt that I'm finally, not finally, getting some good stuff done. Watching Batman Beyond. That's a fun series. I need to watch that again. I've watched the series a long time ago. I need to watch them all again. I love the DC AU. Hello, Andres Hernandez. How was my end of February? Fine, fine. What do I do for work? Huh. What am I now? I am now a process improvement with a focus on career growth. So that's a trainer in a way, but now I have a focus on a few more things. I manage a lot of programs. I'm in charge of our intern. We're doing a summer internship, so I'm in charge of that. I am community outreach. I am not on the Chamber of Commerce, but I represent my company there. I now, I guess, go on college campuses and recruit. It's wild. I do a lot of little things now. So the job's different. Got a different job with my same company back in October. In August, the job that I was at for 16 years, they eliminated the position. And to be fair, they haven't had that position in a small area like I live in for like 7 years. Like, just because I was number one in the numbers, that's the only reason I kept my job. And this past year, they moved me to help me out, but it hurt my hours. I went, guys, I don't think this is good for me. Said, oh, it's great. It's great. It's great. It's great because now they could finally get rid of me. And my local, I was working for the corporate, and now I'm working for the local site here. So that's what I do. And it's been nice. It was nice that the local picked me up. Um, but I'm doing a lot more different things, and it's not bad. It's not bad. In fact, this week was really good because I'm dealing with a lot of big wigs now on a daily basis. And I got to sit and talk to an executive who I don't know anything about. And I just told her I was stopping by for something else, and I just saw her and I said, hey. And she said, hey, and congratulations on my new position. I said, thank you. I've had it since October, but people don't realize that. And I said, by the way, I've never really talked to you ever. Do you have a moment? She went, sure. And so we talked. She's really nice. I mean, most of our executives here are, but she's the one I know the least now. So I know her very well. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed connecting with this group here. Let's see what I got here. Yeah, let's see. Oh, you went to Griffith Observatory. Nice. Batman Beyond is excellent. I remember my buddy, I only watched the Batman animated series, and then my buddy kept going, you've got to watch Batman Beyond. I was like, dude, I don't want to watch it. It looks like garbage. He went, no, you got to watch. So I watched it, and it was excellent. And then my buddy Bruce was like, you got to watch Superman. I was like, dude, I hate Superman. He said, no, the anime series is great. I was like, I hate Superman, though. So I watched it. It was excellent. Then my other brother goes, "You got to see Justice League and Justice League Unlimited." I went, and I was like, "I don't want to see that." He went, "No, it's the same people who did the Superman, the Batman, the Batman." I said, "Oh, was it?" 'Cause I didn't know about the DCAU, and I was like, "Okay." So I watched it. It was excellent. I was like, "Oh my goodness." And then my last buddy, Jeremy from Super Chainsaw Production, said, "Oh, you got to watch Static Shock. It's excellent." And it was part of the DC. And that's when I started figuring out there's a DCAU. And I was like, "Oh." And I watched Static Shock and I wasn't impressed. It wasn't awful, but it certainly isn't the best. And then I found there was a spinoff of Batman Beyond. Oh gosh, I can't remember it. It only went 2 seasons and it was really bad. Zeta Project, I think is what it's called. And then I watched all the movies. The Mask of the Phantasm is perfect. Sub-Zero is perfect. Night of the Batwomen plays like just a super long episode. Um, the Justice League movie was okay in the DCAU, and the Batman Harley Quinn was really good. And then they had a silent short of Batman and Catwoman chasing each other on the rooftops that I watched. And then they had some Flash cartoons, one called Gotham Girls, which sucks just for girls. And then another one called Lobo. It was supposed to be an animated series, but at that point they said you can't go this dark anymore. So then they did a web cartoon called Lobo, and it's just terrible art. It's that Adobe Flash, but it's somewhat enjoyable. But I love the DCAU, and sadly it is gone now. Let's see. Oh my goodness, how did I get this far behind in the comments? I'm really happy everyone likes the RPG reviews. That makes me happy, man. I've really enjoyed it, and I'll be honest. When I was making these, a lot of these were made when my internet was out, so I'm super far ahead now. Because all I did was just read. All I did was just read. But I took a lot of notes, and so while I'm filming these, I'm thinking, is anyone really going to enjoy this? And y'all really have, and I'm glad y'all share the same excitement. I guess is what I'm saying, because I really am. I really do think the West End game stuff is so much fun, and just wait till we get to the other stuff too. So it's more fun than I thought it would be. Reading these RPGs and reviewing them has been super fun. Oh, nice. Reading Dark Tide then. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. Do I play golf? No. I putt-putt. I play putt-putt golf. My brother and my dad used to play all the time, and I don't know if they still do. They used to play all the time, but I don't know if they still do. But I never got into it. I hear the late '90s Spider-Man is really good, though I haven't seen it. I get this long eyebrow hair here. Did I ever read the Dresden Files by Jim Butcher? No, I have not. I did watch the Zeta Project. I didn't think it was that good. That's probably the worst one of them all. I didn't think Static Shock was that good either, though. You know what, Zachary Swan? You saw Jonathan Cohen. I saw that tier list for all 150. I watched that. That would be something interesting, maybe, to make later on. Or, we've never done a tier list for a more civilized age, but that would be a great topic. Actually, no. The first 2 Batman movies, Sammy, are really good and animated movies. The Justice League movie was okay. It wasn't excellent, but it was okay. And I like Batman Harley Quinn. I thought that was really good too. I thought Night of the Batwomen was just like a super long episode. That wasn't anything great. But what was it? Death of the Joker. What's it called? The Batman Beyond movie is excellent. Is excellent. One of the best movies. So their TV movies are really good. Yeah, Justice League's really good. I was shocked too. I was shocked at all of these. I was shocked that probably the most shocked. I don't know. Probably the most shot was Batman. I did not think I was going to like Batman Beyond. I loved it. I did not think I was going to like Superman. Loved it. And I didn't think Justice League was going to be that good, but loved it too. So, yeah. Review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't know. I never watched those. Yeah, the Wizard of the Coast stuff is going to be fun too. Well, thanks, Scott. Yeah, I never played it, but I did read the. I mean, you guys know I read that cover to cover. I'm trying not to spoil some of the adventures, but the pictures spoil some of the adventures. I noticed in some of the videos I did spill something. I think every once in a while. It's not that big a deal, but I didn't want to spoil the whole adventure for you. But there are some really interesting stuff in each one of those. And when I was going to reread these, I thought, is there really going to be anything to talk about? And there is. There's a lot to talk about, even when it's about weapons. There's a lot of neat stuff in there. Putt-putt. Putt-putt, like goofy golf or whatever we call it, putt-putt golf here. Well, I've never played them, and that's the thing. The kids are getting older, and when they can kind of take care of themselves, I don't have to check on them every 2 minutes. I would like to do RPGs. Online, me and a few other guys, we're talking about doing a Ghostbusters RPG from Weston Games. I have all those illegal copies because it's too expensive to buy. I think they're in here, actually. They must be in here. Yeah. I printed out every Ghostbuster Weston game. There wasn't that many, but this is it. This is all the Ghostbuster. And I sent the files to my. I printed this out on cardstock. Look at that. I didn't even realize that, but it said to print out in cardstock. Okay. And the little rats 50s Ghost Adventure too from Weston Games. And because they're big Ghostbuster fans, I was like, all right. So I found it, gave them copies. I printed all mine out and said, let's play. So that's what we wanted to do. Young Jay Knights is underrated. Hey, OG, how's it going? I love Kevin J. Anderson. I think he's great. I haven't watched the Teen Titans. Return of the Joker. Thank you. James Messina is great too. How am I feeling about the Mets this year? I don't know. I have been keeping up with USA. It's going to be fun. World Baseball Classic is going to be fun. I'm just going to hold my breath and hope no one. I feel like Soto's going to get injured, but we'll see. Did I ever see the film Y2K 2024? Never saw that. I would never tell anyone to read the EU in chronological order unless they've already read it, because it's just garbage at the front. If you're reading Dawn of the Jedi, I think that's just a terrible book to start off. I think it's one of the worst. It's still one of the top 10 worst books I've ever read. And they're going to start off on the worst book. What would motivate them to read more? So I'd say get them started on something that excites them. If it is the Old Republic, the Darth Bane trilogy. If it's the prequel era, Darth Sidious. If it's the original series, two places, either Timothy Zahn's trilogy, which is excellent, or Kathy Tyer's Truce of Bakura. I really like those two. If they care about, if they're into comic books instead, again, Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic, you got to read, or Tales of the Jedi. Both of those are just excellent. And if they're into the original trilogy, if they're into the original trilogy, you go Dark Empire. If they're into prequels when it comes to comic books, you go to the Star Wars Republic series during the Clone Wars, because that's just some of the best stuff ever. Yeah. So there's different starting points I'd give them depending on what they would like. Dang, I'm still behind. Well, Zachary, what I'm going to do after I review all the RPGs is I'm going to do video games. I'm going to watch through all the video game story modes and whatnot, and then give my thoughts. Because that's the weakest knowledge. I don't have any knowledge of video games. I remember someone gave me a whole list earlier this year. I said, dude, catch me next year when I'm done with the RPGs. And then I'll start watching through. And you're like, oh, Matt, that's a lot of Old Republic content. Well, I have the time, right? I have the time. So I haven't started now. I may start later on when I'm getting close to wrapping up the RPGs. I'll start watching the video of the video games, story modes, and then giving my thoughts on it. That'll be the first time I've ever watched them either, because I don't know anything about them, not much about the video games. Yeah, Dawn of the Jedi as your first EU book would be awful. Well, let's go Mets. I really hope they make it. They may get a wild card this year. What was it like living through the Y2K hysteria? I just didn't see how it could work. I mean, I understand the basics and what they were panicking about, but I was like, I just don't think that's going to happen. Planes falling out of the sky. I mean, they were talking gloom and doom, and everyone was holding their breath. And the year 2000 sucked because it would have been a great party. A lot of people were scared and stayed at home. You have to stay at home because you never know what's going to happen. See, I just graduated at college in 1999, December of 99, and I was ready to go out and party. But I was like, well, what if everyone turns to zombies on that New Year's? So I remember staying with my parents' house, and we saw Australia turn Y2K first, and they didn't explode. And that's when I knew everything was going to be okay. But by then, I didn't know where I wanted to go, and I didn't want to go out. I spent a lot of New Year's at my parents' house. That was actually fun for a while. Hello. Yeah, Dawn of the Jedi is not that good. Truce of Picor is underrated. Laura, I agree. Hello, Melissa. If you read the EU and release order, that's correct. And you know what? What's his name? Nathan P. Butler was doing it. I think I've told the story before, but Nathan P. Butler was doing his in release order, in publication order, his reviews. And I thought that was so smart. And when he decided to stop, when the EU, when Disney bought out Star Wars, he went, oh, I'm going to stop this series. I was like, no. And I said, fine, I'll do mine, but I'll do it in chronological order. I like publication order. I thought that was a good way to do it, but I didn't want to copy him. So I did mine in chronological order as best I know how. And the rest is history, as they say. A waka waka. I didn't like the Jedi, Dawn of the Jedi comic book either. When I reread it, I was like, oh, not as good. Courtship of Princess Leia is underrated. Yeah, the video games will come probably next year when I'm it'll come next year after I'm done. I should wrap up sometime next year. I should wrap up all the RPG reviews, and then I'll just dive right into video games. That probably take me another year. Wow, you were hooked on after Dawn of the Jedi. Well, that's rare, and I'm glad you stayed around afterwards. I just wouldn't suggest anyone do it. Sisterhood are incredibly underrated. I agree with that too. Yeah, someone gave me a whole list a while back. So I just said, hey, just send this to me next year, man. Yeah, space dinosaurs. What wasn't cool about that? I'll be watching all of them. I'll be watching all of them. Now, how am I going to do it? Dang, I guess I should do it in chronological order, or do I do it in publication order when they came out? Now, that's different, right? Because I could do it in publication order. That's interesting. I haven't thought about this yet. I'll think about it. But I am going to watch them all. I'm going to watch all the videos of all the games with the story mode. As long as it has a story mode with it. Yeah, you're doing them in release order. That's correct, Scott. Scott and Alex are doing them in release order, and I like that. I like that. It's good. And I mean, Nathan stopped doing it, so no one's doing it at all, and no one's kind of technically done it, so it's a good thing. I couldn't play the games, Melissa. I suck at video games now. I rarely pick up a controller. Yeah, you want to review video games together, Alora? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've just never done it. And they're all on YouTube. They're all the gameplay and everything's there, so I just got to sit and watch it. So that wouldn't be bad. I won't play any of the games. I'll just watch them because, like I said, I just don't play video games anymore. I never did a D&D campaign. I do know a dungeon master. I do know a group that used to do it a long time ago. They did the West End game stuff, and this is back in the 90s. And I remember I was in college, and I was like, I'm not going to play D&D with Star Wars. I thought the stupidest thing in the world. And I read the Star Wars books, but I didn't play D&D. I thought that was dumb. And I'd rather play video games. And they would tell me all these fun adventures they had. I was like, that's wild. And now they don't play. They're still around, but they don't play anymore. But when one of them came over, it's like, dude, is this everything West End Games, Star Wars? I went, yeah. He went, we should, because now they're excited to come play. But the thing is, though, that several nights over several weeks, and it's too time consuming. So right now, and when my kids get self-sufficient, then I may play because I think it kind of would be fun. Ooh, not a fan of Courtship of Princess Leia. That's fine. That's fine. Back in the day, I would have argued with you, but I mean, it's your opinion, right? If you don't like it, I mean, shoot, look at me. I hate I Jedi, and that's one of the most popular books in the the franchise. Everyone loves I Jedi. So, sorry you didn't like it. I loved it. I loved it. But I mean, yeah, I can't change your opinion. It's the way you saw it. So that's fine. I like different opinions too. I like them when they're different than mine. Top 5 favorite Star Wars species? I don't know. I mean, Ewoks, definitely love the Ewoks. Kind of like the Nagai from and the Zeltrons from the Marvel comic books. I always thought the Chandra fan were pretty cool. And who are the lion-headed people from West End Games? Those are pretty cool people too. I don't know. I haven't thought about that much. I won't be playing through. I'll be watching through the video games. But yeah. The EU comic books, the Mara Jade ones, she first met Luke in the Thrawn trilogy. I think that they did do comic book versions of that, but you'd probably want to read the books. They do have some Mara Jade when she was working for the Empire, and those are fine. They're not great. They're not bad. They're okay, in my opinion. Timothy Zahn never wowed me in his comic books. He never disappointed, but he never wowed me. And some of his books did. I think his books, his quality just kept going down every book he released, I felt. Well, I mean, 40 hours of gameplay. I mean, shoot, I can do it in stretches, Like I said, I know it's going to be a lot. Or maybe there's just a story mode and I can just fast forward through the gameplay until I get to the story mode and watch that. And I know Old Republic is like hundreds of hours worth of stuff, but that's okay. We got the time to review it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm too old for video games, is right. See, KOTOR, I played that one or KOTOR 2 and hated it. I just don't play video games anymore. But I mean, it's super popular, right? It's one of the big things. A lot of people love KOTOR and Dark Forces. They love Kara Katarn. I'm interested to watch Star Killer destroy Star Destroyer and some of this stuff. I'm interested to see it. Yeah, I want to watch the scenes, especially. So as the gameplay goes, I'll just fast forward. I'll double speed it until it gets to the story mode. I don't know. I mean, well, not Super Star Wars or the X-Wing simulation game. They'd have to have a story mode for me to do it, and then I'd watch it. And the other thing is, what I even watched for through Force Unleashed, since they had books. I didn't think about that. And Dark Forces. I'd probably watch through Dark Forces. I don't know. Maybe I'd watch through that Unleashed. That's a good question, though. If it's just going nowhere, not really EU, then Scott, I wouldn't. That's a great question. Oh, Melissa used to play RPGs and West End games. Everyone says the West End game was the best. Fantasy Flight has a lot of interesting things, though, in theirs, too. Which old school worker placement game should you seek out? Out of print worker placement. You're saying, Matt, I want to just throw tons of money on a worker placement that is out of print and super expensive. I mean, let's go. Let's go. I'll do you a solid here. Let's see if I can find it. What's out of print and highest on my list from last year? Let us see. St. Petersburg isn't worker placement, but it's an excellent game. It's out of print. It's worth stupid money. I don't think, no, Mosaic's pretty easy to get. That's not worker placement. Samur is worker placement, and it's excellent. And the expansion, hold on, Simmer. Let me put that in the, hold on. Oh, wait. Let me make sure I spell it right. It looks like garbage on the cover, but it's honestly, if you're looking for an out of print, really fun. I did a review on it. I love this game. There it is, Samur. And Samur is excellent. And you got to get the expansion too. The expansion, I think the base game you can get for $25 and the expansion costs $30. I don't know why the expansion costs more. You don't have to get all the little extra wing ding packs, promo packs, or whatnot for it. In fact, I don't even play with those anymore because they're not. They just make the game a little fiddly. But just the base game, if you like the series, the movie How to Train Your Dragon, this is basically How to Train Your Dragon, the board game. But it's just on another level, man. On another level. That's a good one to get. That's a great game to get. You're going through in publication order, reading through. That's nice. I wonder how that would be, reading through in publication order. I mean, you get some good ones and some bad ones flipped in there. Dark Times, great comic book. The Old Republic lore is a mess, really. We'll see. I'll probably watch it because it has such a huge following. I know it's a lot of hours and stuff, but I mean, like I said, we have the time. The cinematic trailers. Okay. Force Unleashed. I've heard of Star Wars 1313. Yeah. No, I don't know about the Darth Maul game. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. God Games geekiness. Yeah. That you hate iJedi. But I'll be honest, dude. iJedi is a lot of people's favorite book. And I hate it. It is still the number one most hated book in the EU for me. Dawn of the Jedi is up there too. I made Laura shared my top 10 and top my worst 10. Laura, I did an update video of both of those after I did my reread. I'll have to find where those are. But I did an updated video of those. But that was kind of funny that she put those out there because I watched my own videos again. I thought, look at that guy. Look at that ugly haired guy there. Thoughts on Darth Malgus? What, the book, the character? I thought it was pretty good. 1313 did look good. Sorry, video game fans didn't get to try it out. Well, I mean, I read in publication order too back in the day. You know, it's good and bad because when they came out is when I got them just about. I mean, the old Delray books had already been out and I hadn't read those. I read those later. I read those in between the Bantam era because I was just waiting for another book to come out. And I saw these books for like $5, 3-in-1 paperbacks of Splinter of the Mind's Eye, Han and Lando. But I heard that they weren't part of the original series. However, they didn't disagree with it either. So I finally broke down and bought all three. And like I said, I read Lando's trilogy first because I thought it was going to suck. Ended up being my favorite ever, made me a huge Lando fan afterwards. And then read Brian Daly's, thought it was the second best series. And then I say Splinter of the Mind's Eye for last because I love Luke Skywalker. And I didn't think that was as good as the other ones I'd read. Yeah, when Pilling goes, I wonder what art she likes. That's good. I mean, the canceled Star Wars Underworld show, we'll never know. I know they did a lot more to it than I thought they did. So it would have been interesting. Would have been good. I don't know. Hey, Adam. Do the EU? A lot of them have audiobooks. The EU books. A lot of them have audiobooks. Yes, some of them are still abridged, but they've been doing a lot of unabridged versions, which are pretty good. I don't really listen to them though. I don't like audiobooks in general. Can they do AI summarizations of every video? I didn't know that, Scott. Top 3 most overrated. I mean, iJedi, in my opinion. What's the one that everyone like? What's the Shatterpoint? A lot of people love Matthew Stover's Shatterpoint. I think it's overrated. Book that everyone loves that I don't. I don't know what a third one would be right now that everyone loves, because there's a lot of books they love that I love too. But books I go, no, it's not that good. Because the majority of people hate the things I hate too. They're incredibly long. Oh boy. Yeah, that hot chocolate and the Bantam era, man. Yeah, Del Rey era was great. Oh, Lando trilogy is fantastic. I talked to his daughter just recently again. I was asking how they were doing. I hadn't talked to him in a while. It was right before my power went out. She was going to be one of my guest streamers, but we didn't work it out. And the other ones were going to be, I was going to get the board game publisher was going to come on. There they are right there. Restoration Games. Josh was going to come back on, but then of course everything got screwed over during the winter storm. Oh, congratulations on the newborn there, Zach. The tabletop game Legion, I never played it. I don't play many Star Wars board games. In fact, the only one I have left, I have Sabacc and I have Queen's Gambit, and that's it. And I don't get interested in any of the other Star Wars games for whatever reason. I just don't. But I did love Scott. Oh man, and those articles are gone now. But Scott wrote a lot of good articles about the collectible card game. No, Spencer did, and you wrote something, didn't you, Scott? Too. I know Spencer did some stuff, but you did some stuff too, I believe. Someone wrote something that was good, but I enjoyed those articles. Scott has a very good grasp on the card games and stuff. He plays them a lot. He's good at it. Oh, Republic Commando. Boom, Scott. Boom. That's definitely overrated. Definitely overrated. Shame on me for not thinking about that. Overrated authors, Timothy Zahn, even though he wrote good stuff, he got worse over time. Karen Travis, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. James Luceno, I can't agree with you there. That's too hot. It's too hot for my take. I don't know who a third one would be. I mean, it doesn't really count, but Terry Brooks is an excellent author, and he just mailed in episode 1. Spencer did the LCG, and you did the rest. Yeah, and they were excellent. Those were excellent articles. I remember. I don't know who'd be my other overrated. Most authors I enjoyed. Like Michael Stackpole wrote one stinker. Aaron Alston wrote one stinker. James Luceno wrote one stinker. John Jackson Miller wrote one stinker in the comics and the books, which happen to be the same thing. But yeah. That was something. Your first book was Dark Plagueis. That was a great one. Yeah, it's a great book. Makes you want to go back and watch episode 1 again. Yeah, it's really good. Right now, tomorrow, I've got to film there's children's performances, and I'm filming one of them in the afternoon. I wanted to film both of them tomorrow, but the one at night I can't do because I got to go to a wedding and call it a night. Then the next day, I'm going to that Sunday afternoon, I'm going to record the other kids cast, and won't be for the last time. I have to do one more review, and now they won't. My wife works at the Young Stage Theater. She's the general manager there, so she wants me to write some summer shows for them. I think 5 different summer shows. So they're kids; they don't have to be that long, but still, I'm gonna start working on those very soon. And there is a show coming out that I was the lead in. How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. What was James Luceno's stinker? It was the the prequel one with Qui-Gon, Valorum. Oh my goodness! I'm not in another wedding. I'm not in the wedding. No, I wish Robin had put me in the wedding, but she didn't. I mean, we'd only been friends for like a year or so, and we never hung out. I mean, we hung out a little bit when we did shows together. Oh, get out of here. There it is. Cloak of Deception. Drew Carperson's really good too. Oh, I think Labyrinth of Evil's great. But anyway, I'm writing those shows. There's a musical theater coming up, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. If anyone doesn't know the story, back in 2020, I landed the lead role. We were going to go live, and that's when the pandemic hit, that same weekend. At first, you couldn't have 250 people or more in a room. You had to have less than 250. We had sold 264 tickets. So they said, no, we'll just put everything on hold for 3 weeks. And then the show never went. And I'm going to be honest. There's a few things going on right now at our local theater that have got me thinking. And I left that theater after that show failed to go on stage because no one wanted to support it. I said we should. And back then, you couldn't record the shows and put them on streaming. But later on but if you asked after a while, just to save some of the theaters, because the stage theaters were dying, they allowed you to videotape the performance and show it on a private stream to your members. So I tried to get them to do that. And not only did a director quit on me, But the cast quit. They did not want to do it. No one wanted to do it. Everyone was either scared or just stopped caring. And I remember the time we scheduled time where everyone was coming to take apart the set. It was just me that showed up. I waited for a few minutes. Then I started taking apart the set. And I spent the entire day from 9 o'clock that morning or 8 o'clock that morning till 11:30, putting away all the props, all the costumes, slowly taking the set apart piece by piece, dragging off huge pieces that I could never do now, huge pieces, one by one, until it was all done. And then the next day I turned in my resignation. I was vice president and no one helped me. I turned in my resignation. People were like, no, what are you doing? And I'd never have joined a show or done anything for them again. And now they're finally doing one of my favorite shows again. But at first they said, hey, we're doing the show again. If we did, would you come back and reprise your role? I said, sure. And they came back, well, we think you're going to have to audition for the role. I said, okay, yeah. And they said, well, what other roles are you interested in? They don't want me to be the star, which I'm fine with. But as I keep thinking about this, I just don't know the people there anymore. And I don't care for them. And I'm thinking, even though this is a once in a lifetime thing to do this show that has been on my bucket list for decades. I don't think I'm going to do it. It's going to piss a few people off that I know here, but I just don't know. Just don't know if I have it in me. Because I just started thinking about those bad memories and how I just don't know anyone. And all my friends are kind of just retired. Have you ever been to any Star Wars celebrations? No. I love Kip Duran. Kip Duran is excellent. Nice. Wedges gamble for a deal. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm thinking I may not want to do it. I'm already doing another dinner theater. I'm going to be a vampire again. Spoilers. I'm killing everyone off. I don't want to do it anymore. I never like writing sequels to my shows. But it was my fault. I made a joke about a Christmas show last year, and they all wanted it. And I'll be honest, I had two heartfelt conversations from people who attended the last show. And for the life of those two, who were just old school people who knew me from decades ago, those are incredibly nice things to say. And that and the cast won me over to write one more, but I killed everyone off just about. The sad thing is I did come up with another idea. And now that the cast is killed off, well, one cast member can come with me because she's not dead. But I don't know if I want to keep doing it. Because I don't know. It's funny. It's fun to do, I guess, in a way. But then it eats into, like, every October, it was eating into the playoffs. Like, I can't watch my Mets. I couldn't watch, last year's playoff that much. In fact, the World Series Game 7 was on when we did our last show. And so I almost missed Game 7. I came in late, watched it at a bar for our wrap party, didn't talk to anyone and watch the game. I'm tired. So this one's going to be moved. I want it in November, but she's moving to December. I really don't want to do it in December because I got too much stuff going on in December. But maybe I'll just do that. Because I was retired for years. Why do all of a sudden I want to do all these shows now? It's wasting my time and do something else. Let's see. Well, I'm not going to fight for the role, Melissa. The lead role should go to someone with new talent and everything. And I totally agree with that. If they have great talent. Okay, see you later. Yeah. But doing the dinner theater is a bummer too. I mean, now they pushed the dates back. I won't miss any of the playoffs or the World Series. We'll probably be practicing during the World Series, unfortunately. but maybe I can get around that. And if I do another one, I'm going to ask we don't do it around Halloween, just because I want to watch the playoffs. But see, if I write one, then I have to do it again. So maybe I won't. Maybe that's just telling me not to do it anymore because I don't want to do it. I enjoy going to shows, but doing shows was just a one-time thing for me. So, got other things I can do. Right is a lot of fun. But yeah, other than that, I started my Stratomatic baseball season. No one cares but me. It's very fun. I'm on week 6. I was gonna play some tonight, but my kids are really sweet. They cleaned up. They cleaned up downstairs. They just pushed toys into corners. But it's the little babies, the 4-year-old. They just turned 4. They're really sweet. I don't know. We may go. I don't know where to go eat breakfast. That would be fun for them. IHOP sucks. And even though they do like pancakes, maybe just get them a short stack each. I don't know. I want to do something fun for breakfast for them. McDonald's breakfast sucks. Even though they'd love to do a McDonald's breakfast. Maybe that's where we're going. I don't know, but I kind of want to do something. Oh, they love donuts. We'll get donuts. They always love donuts because they're very sweet. I didn't know. Playoffs. It's so funny. I mean, I just don't like. I mean, my kids love it. We always go. There's a playground there, but I don't want to do that. They do love donuts. I love me a good cake donut because I'm old. I've always loved cake donuts. I remember it started back when I was in college. I was working part-time at the courthouse, and they brought donuts. I didn't know, so I was one of the last ones to get there, and all they had was cake donuts left, or the old-fashioned ones. I went, what are this? And they went, oh, those old-fashioned. They're great. And I went, yeah, that's why they're the only ones in the box. But there were no more donuts, and they looked like they'd exploded or gotten damaged because they're cut open. And I ate it, and I thought, this is the best donut I've ever had. And ever since then, I get an old-fashioned donut, the old-fashioned cake donut. I love it. I love it. We don't have any Roy Rogers, man. No, we don't have that. We have all these different, just independent-owned donut places. And one of them is pretty cool. He's a pretty cool dude. He puts in extra donut holes for my kids. Yeah, I'm going to go to see him. We're going to get donuts. That would be fun. There's a Dunkin' Donuts, but Dunkin' Donuts suck. They suck. They are awful. I would never eat at Dunkin' Donuts. I just wouldn't eat. But I will take him to the donut place around the corner from us because that dude's pretty cool, and he'll throw some donut holes in the bag for him. So we'll go get donuts in the morning. That'll be a fun thing to do. Yeah, that'll be fun. We'll do that. That'll be our fun. And that'll be the reward for cleaning up. But like I said, excellent week at work. Felt like I got something accomplished. Felt we're getting the ball rolling. That's really nice. I need better board game people. Like I said, my buddy couldn't stay over that late. We didn't get that many games played. It's kind of bummed. I want to play games. I want to play some board games, man. Got a stacks of them. My nephew doesn't have spring break until like 2 weeks from now. And I can't take off. The week of every time he's on spring break, I am swamped with work. That is the one week I can't work. And see, next week would be perfect because they're finally going to work on my roof, I think. I'm waiting for the insurance check to get to me. I got a FedEx message, so it should be on its way. Monday, I'm assuming. It'll be here. So once I get the check, I deposit the check. Roofer comes out, fixes it. I give the roofer all my money and then some, and then get a refund back from the insurance after I've show proof that it's been finished. But it's going to rain like cats and effing dogs. I have a tarp on the house right now, so it'll keep. But next week he's going to build it, and so next week I'm going to take off one of those days. And my buddy started working, so he can't come over in the days. In fact, I have no one who can come over now. So it's getting really rough. It's down to 2. I just sent a text out to my I sent a message out to someone who commented on one of my board game videos saying he doesn't play games anymore because he lost his gaming group. Dude, there was a time I could get 16 people. I had 16 people at any time would come over and play games. 16. And I remember that number dropped to 8 pretty quick. It dropped to 10, I think, then to 8. And I was like, man, there's way too many people. Every other weekend, I'd have 4 different people over, 2 different groups. And then when it got down to 6, I was like, okay, I was still alternating groups. But then I thought, let me do big 6-day ones. But we had to get 6-player games. And then sometimes I had a 4-player table and a 2-player table. And that's how we did things. And then we had a core 4, for a little while. And I was like, okay, core 4 we can do. And then that started falling apart last year on me. 2 years ago is when everything started to get wacky. And it should have been last year, but it was 2 years ago. I started grasping at straws, and I survived last year. But toward the end of the year, it started coming to a grinding halt. Like after September, everything started just halting because I was doing the show too. But I was like, my gaming group was just falling apart. And one buddy, because he always comes in around Christmas, but he decided he was moving back. And now it's just me and him. It's 2. It's the 2 of us. And that's it. There's no one else. Everyone else is gone. They're gone. And if he's not going to crash out on me. He's going to stay with me. But I need to keep him because my girls are too young right now. They'll turn 7 in April. They still got they got to be at least 13, 14 before they can start playing some of these older games with me. So he's got to hang on tight, baby, for about 5 more years with me. I'm trying to build up my game group, but there's just no one else. You wish Mr. Donut still exists. I've never had, but Dunkin' Donuts is garbage. Krispy Kreme is really good. We don't have one here. And the donut place we have is like Donut Palace or Number One Donuts or Star Donut. They're just generic names with, hate to say it, but how come Oriental people all own the donut shops? It's always Oriental people. They own all the nail salons and the donut shops, man. I'm just stating how it is. There's nothing wrong with that. There's one poor lady I can't understand. I love her to death, but I can't understand her. I don't know what she's saying because I'm old, and my wife has to be with me to interpret. Like one time she was saying, I was like, yeah. And she went, I was like, you know it. And my wife punched me in the shoulder. She went, Matt. And I went, what? And she said they're out of cake donuts. What else do you want? I went, oh, nothing. I'm good. I didn't know what she meant. I didn't know what she was saying. I was totally clueless. But this other dude is pretty cool. Like I said, he gives donuts in there. They keep the donuts alive, man. Oh, you're welcome for all the EU love. You've got EU love. Tell you what. Yeah. It's been fun talking about it's been fun talking about the RPGs. I've had super amount of fun. And going from that and then moving into video games sometime next year, and probably reviewing those all the way through, there's so much material. It may go through 2028 even. And then what do you do next? I don't know. I got plenty of time to think about it. I still would like to probably review the movies eventually. I don't know what else I would read, but who knows? Something else may come out. I did read all the little printable challenge. I'm going to give a brief overview on all the challenge pizzazz. I can't remember what the 3 main magazines were, the RPG magazines. Shadis was one, maybe. I can't remember. I know Challenge was one, but there were 2 other ones that I got a lot of them because they had these. They don't have much, but they have some Star Wars stories to them. And digital copies of those are not hard to find. Oh, that's what I want to do. I'm looking for someone who can design book covers because I want to print out hardback versions of the episode 1 and 2 adventures, the Star Wars missions from Scholastic. OCR technology is so easy now. I could probably just if I load up pictures, I can just take picture of every page. I can just load it up and have them all in Word printable docs. I think there was something else. Was it Secret Missions I don't have in hardback? I'm trying to collect all the children's books in hardbacks. That's what I want to do. Oh, and I want to create hardbacks for the UK books, the UK Clone Wars novels that only came out in hardback in the Clone Wars, and they cost like $300, which is like $250 more than I'd ever pay for it. I'd rather Adam gave me one because he found one for like $15. Someone didn't know what they had. He found it for $15 and sent it to me, and I thought someone had self-printed it, but it was an actual hardback copy worth 300 something bucks. And I offered him to give it back to him when I found out what it was, but he said, no, I'll keep it. It's fine. But I want to get the other hardback, but it costs too much. I'm not paying hundreds of dollars for that hardback. So I'd like to print my own hardback because I would like to have all my EU reading in hardback. So that's one thing I want to work on, but I don't know how to. Well, I guess AI could do book covers now. I don't want to do AI. I don't know. Maybe that. I don't know. I have to think. But designing the book cover would be the hardest thing for me. But that's a project that I could start working on because I really want to have the rest of my stuff converted into hardback and just do some self-printed novels, either on Lulu or Amazon, whoever does hardbacks, and just have a full collection of all my books. I have a lot of stuff in hardback. So, I mean, I'm not buying board games much anymore because I don't have that much of a group. And I don't really go out to eat that much anymore. I mean, all my money just saves and spent on bills and stuff my kids tear up. I don't really have time for anything else. So I haven't gotten into a hobby. Need to get a new hobby now. It used to be Star Wars books, then went to board games. Now I'm weaning off board games. I don't know what else to collect. I collected Beanie Babies for a while. Some of my early videos, you can see a bunch of Beanie Babies. Oh, boo. You don't like Kevin J. Anderson's Jedi Academy? I love it. I reread it with an open mind, thinking it's probably not as good as I remembered, and it just is. But I love the way Kevin J. Anderson writes. I read, and I will be reviewing. Hold on. When am I reviewing that? Kevin J. Anderson's Allies and Enemies. Hold on. Let's see what's up. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Saturday morning salmon flange. What is up? We have scheduled so many of these because I thought I was going to be in the musical, and now I'm thinking I'm not going to do it. Top 5 TV shows that went on way too long. Too many seasons. That's one I'm going to do, and that's the last solo one because Benjamin's coming back for a few. Yeah, we've recorded a ton of Samo Flange because I thought I was going to be out for this show, but now I'm thinking I'm not going to do the show. Okay, I have a few Prince of the Universe, but not as many. How's that possible? Oh, I do. Huh. Odd. So we just reviewed on Prince of the Universe. I reviewed those Batman books and comic books with Wes. If you want to watch that, if you want to listen to that and what I thought about, I read Batman Revolution by John Jackson Miller and Batman Enemies and Allies by Kevin J. Anderson. Spoilers, loved it. And then I read the Batman 89 comic book. And then after that, I read a few comics that Wes gave me, but I also read 89 Echo, which I didn't know existed until after we did that podcast. And now I've read it. And Wes is right. It's all over the place. It is all over the place. Not as good and not as enjoyable. So that's an update for that. Now, next Monday, Bruce comes back. No, I think this is Wes. Wes and I talk about this and that. Then Bruce comes back for Wonder Man. We're going to review Wonder Man, the series, in 2 weeks. His daughter Annabelle joins us. And then for the next 2 weeks after that, am going to review Highlander, the TV show, season 2. Do that. I'm going to probably review every couple of episodes. I'll review a season of Highlander. As we're moving up to episode 500, I'll be reviewing everything Highlander. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, Wonder Man of all things. And what's it for Saturday morning Samo Flange? I think I already said the top 5. Yeah. So preview of the next one. Benjamin comes back 2 Saturdays from now. We recorded top 5 things we want to see in that at the end of a rainbow instead of a pot of gold. What would we like that pot filled of? That's going to be our Saint Patty's Day episode. And then we're going to talk about top 5 actors we hate. After that, I talk about the top 5 wedding moments. And then Benjamin comes back. Like I said, we recorded a ton. I'm way ahead Saturday morning salmon flange just because I thought we were going to be in this show together. And we wouldn't have time because practice is every night. So I got plenty, and I was going to do some more, but now I'm thinking I'm not going to do the show. So top 5 pizza places, burger joints, chicken and sandwich places. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of topics going into April and everything. So Prince of the Universe doesn't have that many topics. But like I said, I was trying to get ahead just because I was going to be in this show. I'm not reviewing any Superman comic books because I don't really like Superman. But my brother, Mr. Hernandez, my brother is a huge Superman comic book fan. He started with the John Burns. He just recently, last year, I think, or 2 years ago, started collecting them. And he started with the John Burns in the early 90s, and he has collected, or late 80s, and he has collected every Superman issue since. He's been collecting them all, having this big Superman set. That's his hobby right now, is collecting Superman comic books. Highlander's great. Guthrie's don't have a Guthrie, so I don't know about my number one chicken place. I'll discuss later. But my sandwiches, I recorded that and then went to one of my favorite sandwich shops, and I dropped it 2 spots on my list, which I'll mention in the next Saturday morning salmon flange afterwards, because I had a terrible experience. So bad, the experience was so bad, I will never go back to that sandwich place at that location ever again. Whenever I travel, I will go. But I will never, ever, ever go to that location again. That service was that bad. Anyway, all right, late. I'm going to go to bed. Guys, have an awesome, awesome weekend. And I will see you later. A more civilized age. No special guest. The guest is too busy. We have a nice big guest coming, probably in April. Some of you may know. I think some people guessed it right. But big, huge guest, big channel, big. It's going to be huge, huge, huge guest coming in a more civilized age. And it's going to be really fun, but the schedule was too busy. We were scheduled to do March, but they couldn't do it. So big, big, big guest coming in. I'm super happy. And then there's another guest I'm trying to get too. But anyway, but for this one, I think it's just going to be the 3 of us. Oh, no, I am going to invite one other person. There's one person who asked if they could come on. I'm going to give them the nod because this is a topic they're going to love. But we're going to talk about Ye Old Republic, the Old Republic era. We're going to go Star Wars era by era still. And maybe it'll be something I do every other. I can do this every other more civilized age, do an error and start, because I think there are 6 errors in the EU, if I'm not mistaken. So we may do one for each error as and do and alternate in between. I don't know, but we are going to do one on the Old Republic next week, next Thursday. So check that out. All right, folks, that's it.